Afro from the Colos Wellness Spa. Welcome to this Friday's shoot. How are you doing? How is your family doing? Thank you for tuning in this Friday. We're always happy to share our thoughts with you, share our jokes with you, share your moments with you. Yeah. Ladies, good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you doing this week?
I'm happy.
Clearly.
Yeah, I'm happy this week. Actually had a business trip in India.
Yes.
And one of our fears, I use India as a place to go for checkups.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. And I always tell people, guys, go for checkups.
Yeah.
Like, don't wait until the last moment. And the truth is, to travel to India, because I kind of counted, low-key, you just need to spend about 4 million shillings. Yeah. So if you can collect that 1 million every year, 1 million the second year, third year, fourth year, that means by the fifth year you can go for like that big check. And that includes your flight, that includes your accommodation.
Imagine.
That 4 million, and that includes that test, like at least a basic test that you can get done. Not that the test can't be done here. It's just that there's something about the tests in India. You go into the place of testing in the morning, and by the time you're done in the evening, they've checked you from your head to your toe. They've checked your macronutrients, they've checked your micronutrients, they've checked your muscles, they've checked everything.
The heart, the chest, the brain,
the lungs, the liver, the breasts, everything. At least you've done your basic check to take you for at least another 5 years. So I was just excited that this year we were able to take my mom in love to test her, and it was nice to see that she's well. Many times they complain about so many things, and you live in fear, constant fear that there might be something really big and really wrong. And I'm telling you guys, I feel that our fears are the things that make us sicker even before the time for,
Because it's that unknown,
yes,
isn't it? That you can't control.
You've said it exactly like that. Because you don't know, you have this fear, you're like, I feel like.
Yes.
Then you go to the doctor says, there's nothing. But you're like, but I'm feeling it. And so
in your mind, by that time, there's breast cancer, there's what?
Thank you. So before you know it, you're actually sicker than you should have been. So, but when you go to a place like India, where people usually go when things are bad, then they tell you, no, you're fine. You come back. You come back and you've woken.
You've woken
up and you feel better. So it was nice. It was nice to know that she's well.
That's good.
And I'm bump lovers. Take your parents. Take yourself. Get tested. Just know what's going on
in your body.
With your body, and then come back annually here in Uganda and do the annual checkups. I always advocate for that. Do your annual checkups here, but like every 5 years,
go and do a major one.
Go.
Away. But
Away.
I like that you have said it's 1 million a year. Let's break it down. It's about 90,000 a month.
Yes. When you think about that,
which you can survive without, once you take it out of your budget.
Yes.
So when you say 1 million, it may look big, like someone needs to wait for December, remove the whole 1 million.
No.
But 90,000 about per month, you
That's a
can
good way.
really
I love
survive without it.
That's nice.
And just send it to a certain bank account in one of those banks that have long queues.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's the way
no
to save.
ATM cards.
No ATM card,
Yes.
long
Long
queue.
queues.
So every time you think of going to get the money, you
You're
think
like,
of the line, the heat, and you're like, nah, it's okay.
It's okay.
I can wait.
Yeah.
I've been to India as well, and I remember the tests that we did, the annual checkups, cost much less in India than if we had done them in Uganda.
It's true.
It is. They're cheaper, and yet their machines are
State of the art.
State of the art. And then they'll tell you things that you didn't think. You're going to check, and then they're like, no, but since you're a woman above 40, we need to check for this, for this, for that, for that. So please, bump lovers, listen to Manuela.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Point taken.
Yes.
Point taken.
Yeah. And I like that they have for different ages, below 25.
Yes, there's a package.
This is your package. This is what you need to check for. Are you above 60? This
Yes.
is what you need to check for.
And women and men.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Women alone, men alone, and then you go and see a specialist after that.
Yeah.
So I like
specific.
that. Yes,
Ye-
very,
oh, yes,
very, very
yes.
nice. Those of you wondering, it's called the Apollo Hospitals.
Yes.
Is that where you went?
That's where we went as well.
Apollo, and there are many. There are various all over India. It doesn't matter where you go. Chennai, New Delhi, Mumbai, wherever they're all. Don't let us not have to be in a place where we have to fundraise.
Yes.
Car wash.
I
Before you
know.
find out, I've shared my story before. That's how we caught cervical cancer for me. So
Before, yeah.
That's really lovely to know. Thanks for sharing, Manuela, and thanks for giving us that tip, Barbara. My week, I'm going to express gratitude to the production team. Do you know why? Because we shoot on the weekdays. Sundays are free. I'm back to teaching Sunday school.
Ooh.
It is an Olympic sport.
Ooh, yes, it is.
I forgot. It's an Olympic sport.
Yes.
I want to thank Bruce, Rachel, Jonathan,
Everyone.
everyone
Nina.
on the production team, Nina,
Yes.
because knowing that Sunday is free for family, rest and church, I've gone back to the Olympic sport of teaching
love
Sunday
it.
school.
I love
I feel
it.
satisfied.
Yeah.
How do you manage so many kids, and yet Sunday school you can't even threaten
Yes.
that I'll beat you?
No.
Like at school where
Because
they'll
it's
say I'll
different.
beat you,
It's
but at
different.
man, Sunday school you take the kids the way they come. I'm not. I said threaten. The key word was threaten. That's what they can.
And there are those who just look at you. The ones who are
Just having them
participatory
in
are so
order.
participatory. The ones who are not,
Yes.
they will look.
Yes.
And it's just a mixture of cuteness and bubbly and a bit naughty.
And
You have to
naughtiness,
find the right blend.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Olympic sport, because I'm always with plan B, C. In case another dance, get up, now this. So what I do is I use movement a lot.
To
A
keep-
lot of movement. Line up now and use competition, friendly competition.
Yeah.
Let's see, do this movement, change the movement and setting every 10 minutes if possible.
Otherwise they get bored,
Yes.
right?
They do.
And also that they remember from the movement what the lesson was.
Yeah.
They won't remember when they're seated. They'll
Yeah.
remember by the action that was
Yeah.
attached to it.
Right. Can I share with you? I don't think I've ever told you one of the reasons as to why I liked your classes when you
Yes.
taught us is your storytelling. Your storytelling is so
I can
captivating.
imagine. Yes.
I still remember it as Sunday school child. I still remember it.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, you've always had a way of with words, and I know that then you didn't know, but the way you tell a basic Jonah went in the well. Then all of us are like, huh?
Well,
is
mine
true.
is playing out a well, a
well,
Jonah.
yes.
Yes,
So
true.
you-
That's what I
you
do.
really-
That's what they remember.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes. And then role play. We did role play. Cast the first stone. I didn't tell them adultery. I said there's a woman who was doing terrible things.
Bad manners. A woman with bad
Yes.
manners.
And what I did, I said, I'm going to act as the woman. I want you to say, you go woman. All of you shout. They'll never forget that. Shout at
Yes.
me, you go woman. And they were laughing and what? Now I want someone to represent Jesus. I want Jesus to say, you people, who has not done a terrible thing? Cast the stone. They laugh, but they will remember that forever.
they remember. So Bianca told us this yesterday evening what adulterous means, because she was telling us about the story. So I was like, do you know adultery? She's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God. But you don't know adultery. I'm like, what is it? And she goes like, when a man kills the husband of another woman. I'm like, absolutely.
But
moving
what
on.
I just thought about is imagine Bianca standing in the middle of a circle of like 12 other little girls.
Telling them.
Because yeah, she was telling her mom who she feels, who she knows better, but she still had the confidence. Now imagine where she's like, Bano Temamani.
Temamani.
She will. Remember those guys in primary school who would tell us
Thank
stories?
you.
Now they are lies.
But the confidence.
Yes.
It's okay. All the parents will be happy with me. They'll be like, oh, Bianca told we can deal with this for now. Oh, nice week.
Yes.
I've always asked myself, like, what it would be like to go back to Sunday school and teach, but
But why the eyes
I have
rolling?
enough credo. I have enough credo. Those.
So this week, I made my first money.
Oh.
Should I call it profit? No, it's not yet profit. From my project in Busia.
Ooh.
Yes, after 2 years of when the trees get to a certain level, then you it's called what? Thinning.
Okay.
You remove some of them so that the rest can get enough space and nutrients and get bigger. So you sell them. because you'll sell them.
Is that what they call seedlings? What is
No,
that called?
they are really
The
tall
actual
trees.
trees.
Yes, they are, but they're small. So they use them for building. Yes,
So it's not for
scaffolding
Yes.
or firewood, depending on how small they are. Yes, so we made our first sale this week, and it was so satisfying. The money is not that much, but it was. I've made some money from the project. Yes, and it's very
Well done.
it's very sentimental for me. I think because it's in Busia at home, so I feel like I'm doing something
For the-
at home.
at home,
Yes,
yeah.
for myself. I'm attached to my home.
Yeah.
So this week
Great.
has proud of
You patted
myself.
yourself
Yeah, I
on the
patted myself on the back and
Yeah. I've always told people that whenever people say, oh, have various sources of income, one of them, start a business. I'm like, no. A business is first an investment before it becomes a source of income.
Yeah.
Don't be mistaken.
yes.
Yeah.
So after
2 years.
yeah, 2 years of
Crying.
crying, arguments, I don't know what, getting to the village, threatening people, and then just getting all the phone calls you get. We need. So it's like you're just bleeding money the entire time.
Yeah.
So this time the phone call was, Madam, I have deposited. Have you seen my deposit? Yeah. So it was a good week.
He must be proud as
Congratulations.
well. The one who called you. He must be proud as well that he was able to share that.
To share that.
Yes.
I think he is, yes. I haven't met him. He's one of the traders in the town. One of my uncles got him. You know how you get, I just told my uncle and he said,
have
Chindekere. This November, there's a program to get your children off their phones and do something useful with their time. The Boys Mentorship Program Experience will be heading to Japan. Sign up your sons and let them go and see what they could have seen on their phones in Japan, in real life and touch.
Yeah.
There's a 10-day tour where the boys will immerse themselves in Japan's rich culture beyond the classroom. Book now for your P7 or S4 leaver. For more details, visit the website www.theboysmentorship.africa/Japan.
Hello bump lovers, Manuela Mulondo here, and I have some exciting news for you. We're thrilled to announce our breast cancer screening voucher giveaway. We believe that early testing and early screening is the key to great wellness and great health. So we have a limited number of vouchers available for you to go have your breast cancer screening done at UMC Victoria Hospital in partnership with Nation Media Group. And so this is how you can win a voucher. Let us know in the comment section why you think that early detection is important for you, and we will be able to tell the most compelling story and the most compelling reason, and you might be the winner of this voucher. I can't wait to meet you in hospital as we get tested and screened for breast cancer.
We're going to talk about social media and its impact on our lives as women. The description that I have for social media is any form of electronic communication used to share information, ideas, personal messages, other content such as videos, jokes, threats. Some people have used it for threats. Yes. Anything that in that line, that is social media. But before we get into it, Ugandans, I think, are one of the most creative people. I feel like we have not really explored how much we can make money from creativity as Ugandans. Something happens, one event happens, and then like 500 memes come out
However
within
sad
an
the
hour.
event.
Oh no, how sad. Ugandans know sad. Ugandans don't know sad.
Yeah.
So within a few minutes, you're seeing memes coming out about it, and they keep us entertained.
Yeah.
On a dull day, when you choose to go through people's statuses, that's one of my favorite downtimes.
Yeah.
What's the funniest meme or joke you've seen on social media this year?
Mine is not even this year. I think it's my old time.
You go back to it anytime.
I go back to it. So my phone is divided into different folders, into the 8 well-beings. You've
Yes,
seen that.
yes.
There's one for emotional well-being. Emotional well-being is like what makes me happy, what makes me smile. This particular meme is in my emotional well-being. Like I go there, I click, and I smile. It is the meme of asking for directions in Buate. Have you seen it?
Man, there's so many jokes about
The guy, the guy is looking out the window, yeah, but the dust in his face, so it looks like It looks like just to ask for directions, he put down the window. But the amount of dust, and he's just like asking for them. Oh my God. It always gets me because I live in Buwate. So it's just, I just find it so funny. And the guy's expression is so, do you know this place? But the eyebrows, the lashes, everywhere on him. Meanwhile, he's even half naked.
He's brown. He looks like he's put. What's that thing? Remember Copper Girl?
That's
what he looks like.
My God, that meme, it's in my emotional well-being. When I'm feeling like, I click it and that one, I love it.
There's so many. Honestly, I can't think of one now. There are just so many. But the thing is, in my memory, it disappears in an instant. The moment it's gone, everything about it has gone. But there are many. I've seen the Boate one, and I agree. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Hilarious.
It is.
It's hilarious.
Since Bev hasn't told me, I'll tell you too.
Wow. But you're the queen of memes, though.
Yeah, Baba's the queen of memes.
A lot of posting. Imagine, I go through people's statuses and profiles, and I'm just screenshotting. People screenshot serious things about life.
Yeah.
Me.
Memes.
No memes. Life is already too serious. Please let us have something to cheer us up.
Yeah.
I think I saw one recently. You know how people like on social media soliciting gossip and what's happening in people's lives.
Yeah.
So this person posts and says, "What is that one secret that you swore you'll go to the grave with?"
Yeah.
The first response, "Are you the grave?"
No.
So this, and I know what I said. This person just wants to know people's problems. Expecting people to say, "This happened in my life." Yeah. So that one got me.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I love that.
But who would share? It's already something that you want to go to the
No,
grave
if
with.
the question gets you
The way
off
the
guard,
question is phrased, you would share.
You would share.
Yeah, you would share.
You
The
would
way it's
share.
phrased.
And there's a way social media makes people feel like they're sort of
Safe.
covered. Yeah, they're safe. And you're not. Actually, that's how he said it. He said, "This is a safe space." Is it?
There you go.
So if you're off guard, you believe, "I'm safe." Then you start one day in P5, and before you know it, you've told your story. This person said, "Are you the grave? Why are we telling you our things?"
That's so funny.
I love that one.
There was another one, and I saw it around lunchtime. I remember somebody posted it, and Jesus was in an office kitchen. You know what an office kitchen looks like? Small car fridge, small.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy was standing on one side of the fridge and Jesus on the other, and Jesus was saying, "Nandi kuwadde lunch. Naye kikulu bw'omala okukkuta tofugika."
LOL.
I would have given you lunch
Jesus
today
was
because
saying.
I think the guy had been praying for lunch. But Jesus was like,
yeah.
"I would have given you lunch." But the challenge is after you eat and you're full.
I can't manage you.
No, I can't manage you. I can't be able to control you or nobody else. Yeah.
What are you praying, Genemo?
One time I attended a fellowship. I will not say the name. But one of those big midweek fellowships. And the pastor said, "Some of you here, the day God gives you a wife, you will not come back.
Yeah.
The day God gives you a husband, we shall not see you.
Yeah.
The day you get a better job, we shall not see you. The day you get a child, we shall not see you." Let me tell you, everybody burst out and laughed because I can assure you, like 80% of the poor, guilty.
You're waiting.
We're guilty. Like
The
you come.
moment.
Actually, the minute you come like you've entered a supermarket. You come with your
Yes,
List
shopping
of
list.
things.
He said her. So some of you may find that God is just delaying so that he can spend more time with you
my.
because
Yes.
the minute you get it,
You're out.
social media. Don't we all love it? Like, can you imagine, guys, what our lives were like before WhatsApp, before Instagram, before Facebook, before now there's Threads, X, Snapchat.
It's everywhere.
It's too much.
Yes, but can you imagine what our lives were before? I can imagine, and I say we were more organized, I think. Less distracted. Yeah, we were.
Less anxious.
How do you feel social media has affected the lives of women, the lifestyle of women generally?
Affected, not influenced.
Both.
Both.
I think it's, and this one's probably not a nice one, but I think that it has shown us who we truly are. Yeah, because before, when you're jealous there. You understand?
Oh.
In your house.
Yes.
So I feel like you could keep your jealousy in there. Like there was a way you could avoid someone. Now, when social media comes, when you see Manuela's face, the people around you have find out that I don't like that. I don't like that chick. In fact, she laughs too badly. So our real selves has come out. I feel like it has exposed us as women and shown, especially the men, I feel like they have our cards because they see us on social media.
Yeah.
They say like, now see this one is pulling the other one down. Before we could pull each other down from when we are in like a small meeting. But now we will go and share posts.
Yes.
Beverly, she speaks
Yes.
too loud on, and then you pull down some. I don't like that bump love show. You're pulling. And the thing is, most times, men will say things like, it's a woman pulling down another woman. So these are things we used to say about each other, but there was no proof. When social media came, you find that the person who's posting the nudes of a fellow woman is a woman.
The people who are exposing women generally are women.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like, ladies, let's come back home.
Yes.
Let us recoup and say, you know what? Let's not do this to each other. Might I be wrong? Absolutely. Might I be the kind of person that you don't like? Absolutely. But let's not take it out there. So I feel like social media has exposed us. We've been there saying, oh, we want women emancipation, women empowerment. Then other women are like, no, we don't. And you're like, guys,
Pick a side.
can we pick a side? Can we just be one?
Yeah.
Can we be together?
Yes.
Can we have a united front? I feel for me that's what social media has done. And I don't like that. I feel like for us women, it has just undressed us, shown us for, yeah.
I love that. You said that. On the one hand, I also think it's brought out the best
Oh,
in us.
absolutely.
I really believe it's brought
Absolutely.
out the best because people have a platform to share what they're doing. And there's so much great work.
That we're doing,
Also
yes.
because I'm on the journey of research. And I follow people who have delivered medical breakthroughs. They have developed themselves in their different industries. And so on the one hand, I believe that social media has given people a platform.
Yeah.
The quietest people you may have studied with, now you see the work that they're doing. I recently sat with someone who's on one of the drug trials to develop something that's going to actually positively influence women. And I thought, my goodness, we are witnessing on LinkedIn a medical breakthrough.
Yeah.
Keep watching her posts. And I love that. I also love the fact that I can see what people are doing in other countries.
Yeah.
My friends as well.
Like it's opened up the global
Yes,
village to
yes.
us.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Two things I really love again, that people now have a chance to share what they're doing, excellent work they're doing, and you have a chance to engage with them in real time or not, but
Yeah.
you see it as a statement and it's there permanently.
Yeah. And it
And
encourages
also,
you.
it's so encouraging.
Yeah.
And you get a chance to see what's happening all over the world. There was a time I could not access writers until someone was traveling to England, would buy a book from W.H. Smith and bring it.
Yeah.
And then you hear
Now
the
you have
conversation
access.
third hand. But now I see the conversation on Instagram. I follow what this writer is doing, their journey, their own challenges.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty
Yeah.
of social media on the one hand.
Yeah. The other thing is it has given us information that we didn't have as women before because so much information was held away from us. So say, for example, most of the information came through news in the 9 o'clock
9 o'clock,
bulletin.
yes. And if there was no
10
electricity on that day,
Actually, even electricity, you were cooking.
cooking, you have to have the newspaper
You understand?
feed.
You are
to come out.
cooking.
Yes.
You are. The child was crying. You had no access to that information at that time. Then the newspaper. By the time the newspaper comes to you, the news ended long
ended.
ago. You
And it's
understand?
Yeah, but
summarized.
also the
So
media
now-
houses select.
Just knowing what's going on somewhere else.
The information is available. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
How to cook, how to start a business,
Yeah.
how to save your business,
Yeah.
how to mother your children,
Yeah.
how to better your health. There's really no excuse
Yeah.
for someone to say, I'm ignorant about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All the information is there. And that's really one of the powerful things about social media.
Yeah.
I'm not on TikTok, but I've seen people talk about people opening up channels to even show you how to cook,
Yeah.
how to exercise, how to
Yes.
then on YouTube there are all these videos
Yeah,
showing.
there are.
So depending on how you choose to use your time,
Yeah.
you can use it for knowledge only, or
Memes.
Or memes.
I was about to tell you another one, but I won't tell you. Because you've started that, I will
believe
know.
you. I believe you, by the way. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I truly agree. Personally, there's so much that I've learned from social media, and it has influenced the way I live my life. So, ladies, in what ways has social media influenced your lifestyle?
Oh, that's a good one.
How you live your everyday?
I think one of them is now knowing that people know you. There's a time where you could get away with anything because you just disappear. But the minute you open a Facebook account, Instagram account, and it's open, maybe those who have private, but even those that are private, I may have access to it and then I share with Manuela.
Yeah.
But you see, so I think one of mine is just to feel exposed. You sort of can't get away with anything.
Also, it has changed that about you. So somehow you've changed?
A bit, yes. A bit more cautious about, like you can't get up in the morning and say, let me go to the supermarket looking the way I want. Despite the fact that it's probably down the road. You're like, So I feel like it's organized me. You can't say what just be in public and do whatever you want to do. You can't say anything because you just don't know.
Yeah.
You might walk into an office wanting to get a job.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, I saw you on social media. Aren't you the one who was running on the street that day?
Yeah.
Aren't you the one who was in front of Parliament with, holding a pig?
Yeah.
So you just can't do anything now. I feel like we are all watching each other. How many people have you met, minus Manuela? Because the whole world now has been watching you. But how many people have you met? And then they're like, oh, I saw a poem that you posted.
Yeah.
So we don't know who's following, who's watching you, and who's so I feel like it has organized me a bit. Yes,
especially in a country this small.
This country,
I
believe
everyone knows everybody.
Yes,
so
influenced my lifestyle. It's made me feel powerful. I feel like at last I have a platform.
Yeah,
I have been holding this desire to share people what I've learned, my poetry, my creativity. At last, thank you for this. Sometimes you engage in discussions with people you don't want to. As a woman, though, I'm like, at last I have a platform, because I always felt I had to take the second seat, and I didn't understand why. But social media shows you that men and women have an equal space. Anyone can boost their post. It doesn't say this fee is different for men and women. Anyone can start a new page. And as a woman, I find that powerful because I don't have to seek permission from bureaucratic systems before I get the word out there.
Yeah.
If I want to tell people my book is available here, I do that. If I want to invite women to a place, I can do that on social media. If I want to have a room and a meeting with women only, I can do that on social media. We don't need to seek permission from a company owned by certain head of. No, it's accessible for free. And therefore, I find as a woman, it has made me more powerful. Also because now I know where to find channels of powerful women whom I desire to be influenced by.
I love that.
There's a certain pressure that comes with social media.
That is so
One
true.
of them is the pressure to be happy all the time. Because nobody, guys, how many times do you go to social media and people are posting times they've had fights with
Some
other
do,
people?
and it doesn't turn out well.
Yes.
Those that do,
It's really
the
rare.
repercussions
Most
are
people
also not
are going
good.
to post good times, happy times, when they've made it, when they've done good things. So there's a certain pressure for you to want to be happy all the time.
Can you define happiness, though, just for context?
Happiness is mine is that feeling of everything is going well. I'm in a good space. Life is good.
Everything I want.
I have everything. My ducks are in a row. I have everything I like. I've woken up and it's a bright day. That kind of feeling, because that's what most people are going to post on social media, without showing us the other side of their lives. You show us when you made profits, but did you show us the days when it was tough? The fear you went through, the second guessing, the losses you made before you actually made that profit.
Are you saying that they should? I'm asking genuinely.
Absolutely.
So if you're showing
because that's
one,
what life is.
you should show.
Show us.
And
if
I'm
you're
genuinely
showing us,
asking.
Yes.
Do you think then that if somebody who is influential in a certain industry,
Yeah.
if they've been showing how they've made it selling school bags, for example,
Yes.
the success, now they're all over the continent, that they should also equally share the journey that it took, how they had to get their, copyright, is it not prototype correct? Should they show those
And the
failings?
struggles that
They
went
should be
through.
able to. I
They should
recently
be able
saw a
to?
post,
Okay.
by
Because I ask myself those questions a lot.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
in my mind, I keep asking.
Especially since that's the field that you're
Into.
getting into.
I saw a
do you-
post by Dangote recently, and he
yes.
said something. He said, if I knew what it would, he has a refinery in Nigeria.
Yes,
He set up a refinery, an oil refinery, and he said, if I knew today what I was going to go through as a businessman with a refinery, I would not have set it up. In the meantime, the whole of Africa is admiring
Celebrating
Dangote
him.
and celebrating him. So do you see how realistic he is? It has not taken away the fact that he's one of the richest men in Africa or anything.
surely
But he's saying it's a struggle to set up a refinery. He's gone through so much. He's lost a lot of money. But that's because that's what life is.
Yes.
Yes.
So is it his responsibility, again, is it his responsibility to share the challenges though?
Yeah. So
Or,
in so
because
many...
I struggle, I know what you mean, I really appreciate it,
Yes.
because I've asked myself that question so many times.
Yeah.
If I've been following a star in literature, is it their responsibility to also share with me their challenges? Or is my responsibility
Absolutely
to find
not.
my own challenge and how I can develop it? Should I rely on them?
No.
Because I just want to interface with them.
I don't think it's your responsibility or their responsibility to share
Yes.
where the challenges are.
Yes.
I think it's our responsibility as consumers
Yes.
To know.
to know
Yeah.
that life can't be rosy
That's
all the
good.
time.
That-
Yeah.
that
yeah,
answers it, yeah.
so we're informed consumers.
That's why she
Yes.
said there's pressure.
Yes.
Yes.
It's you yourself with that pressure.
Yes.
Yes.
To think that everything should
The
be fine
producer
because
or the consumer
the
of that
consumer
knowledge.
because the producers are only showing you the great part of it,
Yes.
and so for you still feel a certain pressure. So that's
Yes.
what the challenge.
Yes,
is
you're lying
having.
on your bed and you're going through somebody's Instagram account.
And you feel,
Everything seems to be going well for them, and you're
Yeah.
thinking, "But Beverly,
yes. 1 week after
how
giving
old
birth,
are you?"
yes, yes.
But Beverly,
Yes.
is this really what your
Yes.
life is?
Yeah.
And I read somewhere that there's nothing in creation that thrives and blooms the whole year round.
No,
Yeah.
of course
But
not.
human beings expect to bloom the whole year round. I mean, trees, plants, animals, everything goes through phases. But as human beings, we expect ourselves to bloom from January to December.
Yeah.
We're being the pressure is from the inside of
Yeah.
us.
Then we should just disengage from it and have times when we're away from it. Because don't let social media be your emotional, physical, and everything necessary for you to flourish.
Yeah.
Just know how to engage. Again, it's also difficult, isn't it? Because the phone is right here.
Right.
It's nearer to me than my exercise clothes.
Right.
All right?
That's true.
But it's instant.
And it's instant.
The
Exactly.
gratification that you
The
get.
gratification.
And that's why it
instant.
becomes.
That's why you need, it's
addictive.
like dopamine now.
Yes, that's exactly
you a
where I was
dopamine shot
going.
that
It
you
gives
want.
you,
Yes.
yes, it gives you,
Yes.
it has a dopamine effect, and so that's why you're constantly, because your life is not as happy.
Yes.
Always you're seeking that happiness, and so you find it in social
Yes.
media,
Yeah.
seeing other people
Yeah.
that are happy and
Yes.
hoping that by the end of the day, after you've seen very
Yes.
many happy people,
Yes.
when you come back to the reality of your own life, you'll somehow
The effect
find-
will have rubbed off
Yes,
on
exactly.
you.
But
Yeah.
I like what you're saying, that it is in our power to look at somebody, say for example,
Yes.
you see somebody with a great, wonderful, beautiful body, and you see her working out, and you're thinking, oh my God, if I could just have that snatched waist, and I'm right in the right weight range or whatever, or BMI or fat percentage, I would be the happiest woman. And so you keep going to her, and you see her working out. What makes you think that when she's working out there is nothing like that? What she's doing is not hard for her. The same way
Yes.
it is hard for you.
Yes.
When you see a couple laughing as they car ride, by the way, if you don't watch Ride with Amulondos, I don't know what I don't know.
What are you using your data for?
What are you using your data for if you're not watching Ride with
memes.
Amulondos?
For memes.
When you see she has come for you today.
Let me tell you, I thought I was going to make her laugh with many. I've been wrong.
Just give me two. Just send two.
So when you see a couple laughing, you know for sure that for a couple to have a good laugh, they have definitely gone through a rough patch.
They've
Why-
had difficult conversations.
Why do you want them now to come and also tell you, by the way, now we are crying? So that at the end of the day, you're like, hey, I knew.
No, but Manuela, one of my most favorite ride with the Mulondos is when you talked about having difficult conversations with Brian, and you gave us examples of I laughed. I remember I sending you and saying, "Gwe, this is me," because it's not your responsibility to show us that side, but when you did, you make people realize that it's not just
humane.
Because the way Brian said, when they're having difficult conversations or arguments, whatever it is, Manuela's reaction and the way she comes, I felt that's exactly how I approach mine, and then I was able to see through that lens and be like, Barbara, I think you're not unfair. You're not fair when you're doing this.
But to imagine that then, because the truth is, the way our difficult conversations have progressed over the years is that our difficult conversations have become easier. They are difficult, but they've become easier.
You can address difficult things in an easy way without people slamming doors and walking out of the house.
But that's where we started. So when you see us having a difficult, like nowadays, our difficult conversations are quiet. I don't know how to explain. It's like you can hear a pin drop. One sentence at a time. Wait for it to sink in your friend's mind.
Carefully selected words
to ensure that he doesn't get hurt, he doesn't misunderstand you.
You can still put your point across without...
It is quick, direct, not emotional. Then him on this end, he has to come out emotional to react. So it has taken time. So I remember we did post a video where we're really quiet. And someone, Mom, is that a difficult conversation? Please. And you're like, guys, even the post says this is not where we started from. But this is where we are now. So the same struggle, I think for me what I'm trying to say is that when you see a post of a happy person, that's please note in your mind that the same struggles, how they've reached where they are, they've gone through certain struggles. And even if they don't show you those struggles, does not negate the presence of those struggles. And the truth is, you already know the struggles. When you see someone, there's a certain lady I watch, oh my gosh, she wakes up every day at 5 a.m. Now, I wake up earlier than her, but the way I wake up, I'm like, but the way I see her wake up, I'm like, she probably goes through what I go through. But she's waking up and she's smiling. That's the difference between her and me. Me, by the time I wake up, I'm annoyed. It's like, even this. But I look at her every day. She wakes up, smiles, gets out of her bed. And I'm like, she goes through the same. It doesn't mean just because she's smiling, she's not going through what I go through.
In that regard of social media, I think that we outgrow people. Just like you outgrow spaces, workplaces, or classes.
Yes, you do.
You haven't been in Essex for more than a year. You outgrew it, went to university. You're not an intern anymore. You are accomplished business people. On social media, I found I've outgrown people. There's some I used to follow when I was at the phase where I needed motivational, and inspirational, especially in the lockdown. When I outgrew it, I recommend to others. It doesn't mean that their work is less than, it's just that there's another classroom for me. And what makes it difficult for many people interacting with social media, they don't recognize when they have outgrown. And so they keep looking for the same teaching, and yet they passed it. They keep looking for the same inspiration, the same energy, and yet they're supposed to go to another level. How do you recognize? You have to be so self-aware, but also you have to conduct research or ask people who are like-minded to know, I'm really looking for this, where can I go? So you find authentic places. I think we stay following the same people year in, year out, and we're frustrated because we don't recognize it's time to move on from that social media space. And when I shifted a lot of my time to LinkedIn, I realized that I'm at the space where LinkedIn is providing that professional input that I need right now. There was a time when I would never go to LinkedIn. I would disregard it. Where I am now, it's so important for my professional journey. I had to recognize that, and it's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with Instagram or Facebook. I've just shifted, and that's all.
Because that's the season that you're in now.
Yes, exactly. But I had to recognize it. People don't recognize when it's time to move on. Then they're frustrated and they blame. Why is this person posting there? No. recognize that you should move on.
The accomplishments. Someone said that the pressure on LinkedIn, like after you've gone through it, you sit down and say, but what am I doing in my life? Am I serious? Because people are posting accomplishments, keynote speeches, travels, job changing, changing jobs. What you'd be like, let me first go back to Instagram. Let me watch people on holiday. The pressure is
too much.
Doesn't holiday put people on the same pressure as well?
No. Holiday, you can say, I'll save, I'll go. But when someone is posting their accomplishments in their accolades in the real world, that's when you start to think, but
in real time,
with my degrees, what am I doing? But relationships, now I talk about people, how I feel like social media has also affected our relationships. Mine, I would
with
feel
women,
like,
with other women?
No, even with family in general. So I can chat with someone for 5 months without physically seeing them.
Yeah, that happens.
How are you? Fine. So now I've developed a habit of picking up the phone and saying, let me hear your voice at least. Because people have been in hospital, on their hospital beds. And you send a message and say, how are you? How is life these days? I'm okay. Just taking it a day at a time. Then someone says, but that person has been in hospital for a month or so. So we feel close to people without really being close. Before, when I think of Bev, you'd say, I'm going to go to her home on Saturday. Or let me call her and we have ice cream. But now the fact that I can chat with you or share pictures and it makes it seem like we are close, but we're distant.
It's amazing how social media is supposed to be social, but makes us so anti-social.
Yes. The relationships have moved to impersonal, I'd like to say. Even on groups, people on WhatsApp groups with people who've committed suicide. And they're like, but that guy posted the other day. So everybody felt we are one close-knit family.
Until you realize you're
because
not.
we're posting jokes and and sharing daily inspirations until we realize that people are struggling.
That's why the groups that are important are those where you meet often. I returned to coach and mentor people in Toastmasters. We had a session in October 2024, which I led, Independence. It was so wonderful to see people again. But because groups like that meet often, and therefore the time on social media is more business-like, because you know you're going to have a time together. That's the difference. And I think those WhatsApp groups that are able to navigate that are great. However, there's somewhere you're in family groups and people are abroad. And you're glad to reconnect with a cousin whom you haven't seen in 5 years because they live in Thailand. And then at the same time, imagine being in a group where someone has committed suicide. That's awful.
It's awful.
And yet, you feel guilty. Don't you feel a bit of guilt that I ignored that person's post, or I made mockery?
Or somebody's children are at home. They failed to send them back to school because of a financial challenge. But they're posting, and you guys, you're all talking, and somebody could have helped. Or as a whole group, you could have all said, let's everyone bring 100K for 200K, and let's send this child back to school.
I mean, it's many times because of the way social media is structured, it's hard to share your problems because, again, you see everybody. You do have to be careful because you don't know where your problem, how your problem
screenshots.
Thank you very much. But also, you're seeing that people are living their lives. So you're like,
someone is posting day one of their child's full school uniform, where they just like, drop them, and then you're like, now I tell them that mine is at home because
So it can be quite one of the ways that for me social media has influenced my lifestyle is, for lack of a better word, my life is social media.
I was about to say what is she talking about. Where is the line between her life and social media?
My life is social media, and for me, I live every day like a person on purpose, like a person who has. I have a job to do, I have work to get done, and the avenue that I have is social media. I have a purpose here on earth. God is going to hold me accountable for that purpose and what He sent me here to do, and for me now, social media is the tool. Is the tool that I use. Had it been a while back on without social media, the effects of what I do would have taken that much longer.
You have to find gatherings where women are, mothers. Then
we have this conversation.
You have to have them to return the phone call.
Thank you. But now every week, at least 15,000 people come together to have this conversation. When would that have happened for me? before social media. When? When would it have been possible for me to tell women that, hey, God has created us to be the Proverbs 31 woman. He's given it to us. By the time he says it in the Bible, then we have it innately. When would I have told 129,000 women? When? Possibly never. When would I have told men that their women have this capacity? Possibly never. Or if not, just a few at a time. And so for me, I feel that when it comes to social media, many of us, our purpose requires that. It's that the Bible says, who is it who has a light, a candle, and then put it underneath?
Who would put their light
Who would
under
put
table?
their light? But put your light on a table that all may have light, okay? And so social media for me is the table.
Yes.
And we need to get our lights and put it out there for it to shine, that they may see our good deeds and praise our Father in heaven. So for me, social media, my life has been about living out my purpose here on earth, and I've been using social media as a tool. Yeah.
There are people I've watched and they're sharing something or they're teaching something, and you can see that they're so happy to do it.
Yes.
So social media has given so many people the platform to live their God-given purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Not, and also money.
It's powerful. I think
is.
it's been so powerful for many people.
Yeah.
And when you find the person you're supposed to connect with, you've been looking for a lesson.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Podcasts as well.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Once you find the
I
right
love
podcast,
them. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The other thing I love about social media and how it has affected my lifestyle is I've been able to get resources that I never would have.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example of, there's one that I found really recently. It's called Headway. You wouldn't like it. So
I've
let me
seen.
not
How do you know I wouldn't like it?
Is it
I
the
don't
one that summarizes books?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I was like, no, read the book.
Understand.
But the thing about Headway is that by the end of the week, you've read 7 books,
Yes.
summarized versions of the book.
Yes.
And by the end of the month, you've read 30 books for just 12 to 15 minutes every day.
Yeah.
15 minutes of reading a day is good
Yes.
for the brain. It's good for
added
yourself.
something.
Yeah.
Because you don't just read and ends there. The impact, the lessons learned. You see?
Yeah.
And it's not just reading and, oh, I've done my 15. No.
No.
Those 15 minutes are a day, 2
Yeah.
days, a week
Yeah.
of lessons.
Manuela, I've always seen that Headway advertising. Now that you speak,
It's amazing.
I'm going to get it. I always see it and I'm like, I'm going to pass it.
I don't know how to explain to you how amazing Headway is to give you more information than you have right now.
Than your degree.
Than your
3
degree.
years.
But and you know the value of books. The value of books is somebody's experiences brought together into X number of words on a piece of paper. Their research brought into X number of words on a piece of paper. So all of their thoughts onto a paper. So just getting that information in 15 minutes. Because you know also the way book writers are, the topic can just be one thing, but the way they write 30 sentences, 30 pages.
The introduction
to expound.
is another 4 pages.
The preface. So the headway just helps you summarize. Acknowledgements. Helps you to summarize the book and get the most important points out of it. I absolutely love it. I liked Canva. Do you remember Canva?
Yes. It's not there anymore.
Design?
Manuela used to use Canva a lot.
I use it a lot.
And I use
design newsletters. I use it a lot.
I use a pro version even.
It's fantastic.
Please. Why? Because when you get the pro version, you're able to do more than a usual person. I've never seen 2 ads guy like these ones use the same Canva. That doesn't happen on pro. It was on social media that I learned about ChatGPT.
Yes.
You know, or even I just didn't know how AI will work. I now know because these resources are available. I learned how to write courses from social media. I learned how to do digital products from social media.
I designed an entire children's book on social media with a friend. The cover, the illustration, and it's our favorite children's book to date.
Can you imagine?
The most loved of all the children's books.
Can you imagine?
Guys, let's talk finances.
Yes. Oh.
Social media has allowed us to make money.
Yeah.
Without it, like you said, would have to struggle a lot more. We've got, we can advertise events. In the event space, get to advertise a lot of events on social media and bring in some ticket sales, good ticket sales, because now we know that the average adult is holding this phone in their hand every 5 minutes. So how do I get to
They will tell you active times for this age group.
Yeah.
When you look at the analytics.
Yes, they'll tell you. Yeah. The iPhone has, what's it called? Summary. Weekly summary.
Ooh.
Sometimes my summary comes of screen time and it shows 8 hours a day. I'm like, no, this is the entire time I was working.
Yeah.
So I was on my phone the entire time. Yes. So
that's interesting. I also find that, and I'm like, but I've not been on this phone 8 hours. So how is it?
it's not, but it's not 8 constant hours. It in 24 hours, it will, every time you add 10 minutes,
It adds.
it compounds.
Yeah.
It adds.
Yeah.
Then it will tell you that last week your average was 8. Guys, our averages are really bad.
Yes, it
because you can't have 8 hours on social media. However, finance, how have you been able to make money
From social media? Because I like to portray authenticity as much as possible, people love it because they don't get enough of it. And I don't go out to say I'm being authentic. I just am. You don't say, I am going to be myself. That is not being yourself.
Oh.
You're confused. You just are. For me, just by being Beverly is enough. And the businesses I get are unconventional because they say, there is something about you. I don't know, but I feel you're the right person to take me here. I've been looking for a coach who is different, who is not afraid, who is bold. I get different versions of this all the time. The public speaking training comes because they saw me somewhere.
They saw you speak.
Yes, they saw me speak, but they don't start from public speaking. They say, I want to be like you. Because of who you are, you're able to speak like that. There is just something. How come you're so confident? There's something. And that's what it is, just by being me. Not forcing to be like anybody else. That's how the business has come. And I cannot reiterate that in any other way. Being yourself, it's a long journey of understanding, but yes, that's how it has been. I love it. I love that I have that. And more increasingly, LinkedIn messages. Whenever I get LinkedIn messages, I'm excited because I know it's Beverly. I've been seeing your posts and following your blogs, and there is something. I love LinkedIn messages these days. I'll take a year without reading them, but again, because I've shifted more to LinkedIn,
Now
it's powerful.
do. Yeah.
Yes, I like the journey because it's every day is unexpected and new.
Yeah. So for me, apart from advertising, which I do, it's how I make money is, again, it is a platform that allows for me to showcase what I can do. Because most times, if you wanted to showcase what you can do, you'd only do it to
pull out
yes,
supplements,
thank you.
which is so expensive.
Thank you. Then you have to go to the newspapers.
or the TV, radio?
Oh,
Thank you.
Radio spots, prime time.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I forgot those.
So the platforms then were very rigid. Now, for something so, how do I say it? Even if you've not portrayed what you can do, someone can see what you can do even
They
before
see your potential.
Yes, they can see your potential.
Manuela can do this.
Manuela
Let me
can
call
do
her.
this
Hi.
thing.
Yes.
And let me see. There's certain things that I'd seen. So I do have a website. That website standing on its own would have just been a website that I have to write a poster and I
Please
put
go
on
to www on the trees.
You click. But because of the ease of social media right now, linking them to my website is so much easier. I don't even have to sell on social media. I just have to link people to my website. Click, and they go to the website. And they'll find every course I've done, every book I've written, every event I'm doing, everything that I need to get done. I can sell it there. So I think for me, that's how I've been able to make money. I make my most money out of my website because, and I love it because it's the only notification I have on my phone, by the way, guys. And it's a ka-ching sound.
Yeah, you told me.
Heard
Yeah,
it?
like money coming in.
Money coming in. Yes, the ching. And I've found my gratefulness has grown with that. When I hear the ka-ching, I'm like, oh, Lord.
Money!
Thank you so much. That I might be here asleep. It even happens like when I'm sleeping. And Brian's like, especially when I've like just launched a product. Brian's like, will we sleep in this house? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. He's like, Manuel, but won't we sleep in this house? So that the website has been a very good resource. Another thing that I'm great at speaking. And I'm a great teacher. I know how to break down concepts for people to understand. And so I've gotten a lot of speaking engagements out of social media.
Yeah.
Because I'm sharing my thoughts and my feelings about a particular subject, you find that when people need someone to address that particular subject in another group, like let's say at a workplace, they will always call me. So I super love that. I love that even people call me for things that I have not spoken about. Someone will come and say, Manuela, the way you're so confident, come and speak to us about being confident. Now, I didn't say anything about being confident. I was talking about social media. But they're like, by the time she's so confident, let her come and talk to us about it. Or even just sharing your story and saying, I used to be in a corporate workspace and now I own a business. They're like, hey, hold up. How did that transition happen? Come and speak to us about that transition.
So sharing your story.
So sharing my story has been a big source of income, because then I can go to speak to people about my experience. There is so much need out there in the world for the knowledge you have. There's so much need for the experience that you have. And I wish people knew how important it is to share their story from their own point of view. And to be able to say, to say this is how it worked for me, vis-a-vis thinking, wait, that's not how it worked for Manuela, so how can I say? So share your story. But I think most importantly for me now, I believe that social media is the tool that the Bible talks about, where it says Jesus will come back when all of the world has had. Because everybody has
the ends of the earth.
Until it has reached the ends of the earth. I feel like social media is the end, is the one thing
that's going to go around all corners.
And so for me, the whole time I'm just like, I best do what I'm supposed to do.
And next year there'll be a new platform. When these ones expire, there'll be a new one for the next generation. Is it after X? After Y, Z, it's Alpha. Who said after Z, it's Alpha. After Alpha's generation, there'll be a new platform for them.
Yeah,
great.
Definitely.
One of the things I've learned from social media is how to better my businesses. There are always ideas, how to invest your money, how to better. Now, I do corporate events, so I'll watch how corporate events are being done. They say in Singapore, and people are ready to share. That's one thing I like about social media. People are happy to share their hacks, their tricks, their feedback, anything that they've learned. So I've learned many ways. The money lending business, how to study people, how to make sure your clients are happy. So it's helped me make money that way. Even investments, where to put money at what times of the seasons. Like now our economy, it's a bit tight, but there are still certain places people are putting money and making money from it. We get access to such things from social media. Please do your research. Don't just go with whatever you find on social media. Ask. We've got experts as well, investment experts and business experts. So find them. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing. I've enjoyed this. We all love social media, but what I've learned is how can we use it to better our lives and alongside entertainment benefit from it. So we're not those people who say social media it's just overstimulating my brain, because that's one of the things that happens.
It does though.
But it does. You can actually tell someone, especially for children who've been on their phones for long, and by the end of the day, they're irritable.
How are you controlling your overstimulation? Do you get overly stimulated from it?
Yes.
Or no? What are you
learned
doing
how
to control it?
manage.
How?
That, you see, divide the day. And somebody mentioned this to Emma, or Emma said this to somebody. My goodness, Beverly exercises. Because before I think, exercising, I'm wasting time. I should be on the laptop doing something. But when you exercise, when you read a book, the phone is where you exercise. Or you say, these are the days I'm going to be on different platforms. Instagram, Facebook, different days, different hours, specific times. That means you are controlling it. It's not controlling you. So I control it by scheduling the times when I want to visit those places and knowing what I want to say and even whom I want to visit there.
Yeah, I agree.
In other words, I don't say, here's a map. Where do I go? No. The map is already Beverley. When you get onto this platform, know what you're going to do. But then I also have a day where I can just say, all right, I'm ready for the assortment that life will bring, because there's some of those things that come in unplanned ways as well that I don't want to miss. In the spontaneity. That's what I do. I plan, and then I have a little time for the spontaneity to find its way to me. Because if you don't schedule, you people, they will control you, and you won't know what's happening.
The spirit of social media. How are you controlling yours?
I think by just doing bigger things, better things in my life. But also because I know I have downtime in the evening. When I get home, I have about an hour or so where I just lie on the bed and binge.
That's the time, yes.
Yes, that's the time. So because I know I have that time, sometimes the day will go through and I'm like, hey, I checked Instagram only in the morning and haven't checked it again. But also having a scheduled day. When you wake up, prayer time, fast, then what? Then look for something to eat. Then, let me tell you, the day you wake up and touch your phone first. Before you know it, 2 hours have gone. You don't even know how. You've just moved from one app to another, or someone has sent you a message that has totally disorganized your time. So just having scheduled, a scheduled day, but also knowing that at the end of the day, I'm going to go and check all these things. So
you don't.
And they'll be there tomorrow.
So you end up forgetting.
No. The way social media works.
Well, social media moves like a perishable good. And the information is perishable. It moves so fast.
You feel like
yes.
I've found that being, is the word intuitive? You know, I have to come up with a word every.
Yes, I had her spontaneity. And I'm like, Manuela can pick that one for today, but you can choose what you want.
I think there's a need for us to be sensitive about social media. I remember a period when, so now for me, my work is on social media. So you know how people say, I went to work so I could go off social media. Me, my work.
And as most people are, their work is on social media.
Exactly. So whether it's a product I'm selling or my business, I need social media so that it can work. So that means my is it potency? How possible it is that, what's the word?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
What do you want to say?
I'm very likely
to spend a lot of time on social media. Your potential is not
propensity. Propensity. That's the word. That's the word. So let's dial back. My propensity to use social media is so much higher than somebody
because
else.
Because it's office space for you.
It's office space for me. And so I decided that let me listen to myself on social media. My body is going to tell me what works for me
and what doesn't work. Yes.
So I used how I feel to send certain messages to my conscious self. For example, if I'm watching and I feel like Beverly is shouting, instead of disturbing myself and disturbing Beverly, can I just
mute the channel?
Mute Beverly's channel?
Yes.
So that I don't disturb her, and also her, she doesn't.
And you don't have to engage in an argument and explain why. Yes. Please work fast, be decisive, move on.
Move on. Yes. So I found that there were certain spaces that I needed to get out of. There are certain people I needed to stop following. There are certain people who I needed to block, like now actual blocking, because of the feeling that I got when I watched them. So now I found that every time I went onto social media to work, I found that it was a nice...
calm.
Yes, I was calm. But after a while, I started to realize, but how come I'm still spending the same time I spent when I was following all those other people, and now when I'm even following fewer people, then I realized that I had gaps in my day because I had now unfollowed certain people. And so I had more time. Now I was getting more people to follow. I said, so now this is time I need to exchange with an activity, another activity that I could be doing. For example, let me put actual time for me to answer emails in that free break that I have. Yes. Oh, okay. When I wake up in the morning, instead of picking up my phone and going straight away to WhatsApp, let me block the WhatsApp. what is it exactly that, what that extra time that I'm using to do social media? I said to block apps. You know my apps are blocked. They block me out. There are times when I'm just like, oh, sorry, Instagram has
Till
locked me
tomorrow.
out until tomorrow. But I even reached a point when I removed the apps completely off my phone.
And the sky is still in place.
I tell
by the
you.
way, you click. And I still work on social media. I'm like, but you guys have not died. How is
let
it
it
possible?
control you,
You
that's
know,
what you're saying.
so it's just being in a place where it doesn't control you is amazing. So I feel that for me, my progression out of social media addiction, or the propensity to be addicted to social media, happened in phases. And I think it's okay to give yourself the grace
Yeah.
To move on.
to move
Understand
on
that
and
and
take
move on.
and
Yeah.
go slowly but surely. And so now I don't have the apps on my phone. I have a dedicated time to get onto my social media, and I get onto it from my laptop,
Yes.
not from my phone.
Discipline. It's
So
really discipline.
I don't have the time to
Scroll.
However, I use social media as a reward for when I have done a particular task. If you have attended APPG, we have our journal. And one of the things that the journal does is say, what's your goal for this week and what's your reward? My reward is that on Saturday, you don't
Binge.
tell me.
You binge.
You don't tell me. So usually I'll get Blake's phone and sign in, sign out.
That's good.
But at the end of the time for my reward, delete, start again.
That's it. Yeah. There was a movie
Social
on.
dilemma, I think,
I
or something like
think,
that. It was a
think
documentary.
after you watch that movie, you realize
Never.
that even addiction to social media is intentional
Yeah.
for people with an agenda. That Bev opens a video, watches it for 30 seconds. From that point on, they know which videos
They will send you.
They will send you
Yes.
videos to keep you hooked on
It
the
is
phone.
uncanny.
Now, once you know, you realize that you just Googled how to lose weight. And then somehow on Instagram, they're sending you weight loss.
Intermittent fasting.
Intermittent
Where-
fasting.
Exercising.
On Facebook, they're sending you.
Sportswear,
What do you
gym
think?
clothes.
Yes. You're thinking, these guys. So there's an agenda to get us, to keep us hooked
That's
to
why
our
they ask for
phones.
your location as well.
Yes. So there are people that benefit from your addiction to social media. Let's take control of our lives, of our phones, of social media. Let's use social media to our benefit, because we've seen now
Yeah.
there are different ways that we can use it to better our lives and benefit from it. Make money, socialize more, and not be part of the people when they sit down and they're like, you guys, I am so addicted. I don't know what. Let's not be helpless, basically. But share your stories with us. What have you done to better your life with social media? But also share some funny memes. We love them. We love share with us
one.
and share lessons you've learned. Those, what are they called? The links to different knowledgeable sources I've learned. And now I know I'm going to get headway because I keep seeing them advertising. What can we use social media for? But also, guys, what would adulthood be without social media? No, I feel like it really helps us to go through tough times, tough days. But sometimes you look at someone's page and then you're like, I'm normal. I'm normal. I can actually, yes, I am normal, or I can do it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Share this video, share the link. Until next week, bye-bye.
Be blessed.